take the pill. What doesn't kill you makes you well. Purple, yellow, lilac haze, home again, lost in space. We will do as Simon says. We will do as Simon says. Simon says what Simon knows. Follow like the river flows. Listen as your mind transcends with no beginning. There's no end. We will do as Simon says. We will do as Simon says. We will do as Simon says. We will do as Simon Me and my girl, we do cardio. Up down like Mario, cause stress like Sicario. But that catches party on. I'm a Gemini, and she's a Scorpio. But that don't cross our minds when we on the cardio. Bet you wanna peek, bet you wanna see something. We don't wanna give, we don't wanna give nothing. I'm a Gemini, she's a Scorpio. But that don't cross our minds when we on the cardio. Cardio. Yeah, like Super Mario. Yeah, when we on the cardio. When we on the cardio.
Check, 1 2 1 2. Uno, 12. The microphone is on. Check.
Is it 10:32? What are you waiting on? Are you ready to go now?
You gotta pee again, don't you? Just squeeze your cheeks. That's what I do. You need a bottle? I get you a bottle. Got ya. Buenos días. ¿Cómo estás, mis perritos? Bienvenidos a la programa esta noche. Vámonos. All right. I see what you're saying, Mr. Mouse. That's all right. We put Sean's job on the line, made it official. You keep muting that mic, Sean. Get out of here, buddy. See if life will take you back. Yeah, I'm a tough one to work for, but that's how you gotta do it when you're a pro.
Oh my god, did he just say pro?
Why is a pro trader? Pro trader is one that makes their living by professionally trading. That's the definition of a pro trader. Now, a business owner is one that makes their money selling a product or a service. Some people are in the business of showing you how to be a pro trader as a business without showing you the proof that they are able to do that themselves. I just like to throw that out there before you give your money away to anybody. And I can say that because I ain't selling nothing. I push Tangem wallets. That's what I do. I push Tangem wallets. I'm a Tangem pusher. And I'm proud of it. By goshi, Tangem. You like my channel? You can get you a Tangem wallet. Support the channel and get you something safe to put your crypto on. And you can get them in colors now. Isn't that cool? You save 10% off if you use the word DOG, D-W-G. Let that burn into your brain. Dog. The dogs ninja. Right now, I'm watching Bitcoin over here do this actually. I'm on a 6-minute time frame, folks, because I'm bored to death with Bitcoin right now. Microphone is on, right? Check. Looking. Why is it so dark in here, man? Somebody, Sean. Damn it, Sean. Thank you.
Sorry, Doc. Won't happen again, I promise.
I understand why you're unemployed, Sean. Anyway, how y'all doing today? Welcome to the stream. We're looking at the 6-minute chart over here, watching Bitcoin just do a little loop-de-loop. She's actually doing a scallop, and it just bumped up. Now, normally I would just go ahead and flick that thing. I expected her just to curve right on down, but now she's bumped up, and she can still curve right on down. Don't let her fool you. But a lot of times these scallops will come about to a halfway mark and then flip to the upside. It's kind of like if you took a little Fibonacci, like swing bottom to swing high. Right when they started getting into this juicy little zone here, which that one did. Maybe that's why you went up so high. I don't think it's over yet. When they start getting into this zone between the 0.5618, you can expect, not always, it doesn't have to be. Man, they can come all the way, they can come down as low as they want to. For real. But this kind of inverted scallop, it ends up looking like a bridge. That's just what it always looks to me by the time it plays out. That was one of the first things that I ever recognized to help me kind of nail some bottoms. It wasn't the bubble U or the double, the booby bottoms, the saggies or the pointies. It was this guy that I was like, man, that happens a lot. And I was pleased to find out Thomas Bukowski had a little bit to say over on patterside.com. I won't bore you guys with it, but yeah, this is a good one to kind of look for. It's not like they're going to, wow, we're going to zero now. I mean, it can, don't get me wrong, anything can happen, but the probabilities are on their side that we'll get a little bit of a bounce. Now, after that bounce, well, that's left to be said and done. Usually I see something good come from these, but man, I'm telling you, even on the 6-minute chart, the future price predictions for Bitcoin looks kind of very drab and boring, like 66.5 if we're lucky to get back to that area to hold us. So kind of curious what's going on with Bitcoin. So it's been a little bearish this weekend and toward the end of the week, and we get our weekly close tomorrow to see how Bitcoin is feeling. Let me take some of this stuff off of here. Zooming out to the time frame that counts. I mean, when I say that, I mean not that the 6 minute or the 1 minute or 15-second chart, whatever is not important. They are relative to what you're using them for, which if we're trying to see what Bitcoin's going to do over this week or next few days so that we know whether we need to go long or start looking for a short, well, we got to zoom out to the bigger time frames like the daily, the weekly, the monthly, so forth and so such as it is. And when we do that, we can remember, oh man, yeah, we were doing this. This is where we were coming from. Oh, that's what was going on. You deviated. Oh, I got this trend line going on. You trying to retest it again. About 64 is where it's coming in right now. Here at the bottom, so it doesn't have to get there, but it could get there. And if it does get there, we will hope for a bounce. Maybe a nice little wick down there. Maybe stay there 2 days. I don't know. That's what we did. We wicked down to the bottom of that trend line twice, just for good measure, to make sure it was solid ground, because that was our second official touch area for this. That's what established this particular trend line, which is a deviation from our original, which was this guy right here. So will we bounce off of it again? I'm expecting us to. I'll just throw it out there. I'm expecting us to, even though the big green Ichimoku cloud is kind of making me kind of second guess it. I still think we're going to bounce there. Might we come back up and then hop into that cloud? That might be an idea. Hop into the cloud, which will send us down here. That could happen. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now, as it is. Now, if we go to the moving average strategy and apply that theory to this, well, we see that the 9 crossed over the 21 here on the daily. So we got a 50 moving average and a 100. 100 is over the 50, not where it's supposed to be, folks. Not where it's supposed to be. We need the 50 to back its butt up and recover some ground. Mount that sucker, baby. Mount it. Mount it and pound it. Mount it and pound. This jujitsu talk. It's not late night porn talk. No. Why would you even say that? Mount and pound it. Mount and pound it. Mount and pound it. Jiu-jitsu. I'm surprised. Just because it's a late night show doesn't mean it's saucy. Or is it? Alright, so I need to see the 50. I need to see price get above there. That will drag the 50 above the 100. It's starting to look slim. That's not going to happen, folks. It is. I'm just telling you. But we got to, basically what I'm saying with our moving averages, we got a range and we can bounce up here and we retest the 21 moving average area, 9 moving average area. Wherever they may fall, when price might be near touching them, there might be something that happens when they touch. When price and these moving averages touch, we look for something to happen. So, but the only thing about it is it's a moving area, so you can't, it's hard to predict where that's going to happen. And we're also when things cross, because that's just giving you some math, man. That says, hey man, 9 candles ago we were at this same point right here as we were 21 candles ago. Can we bounce from this area, or are you going to plow through? Well, I think we're going to plow through. That's a bad sign right there. That's showing weakness. So we come down to these other areas, and price kind of hangs around, because price touches the moving areas, they usually have some kind of reaction. And then it comes down to the next one. It's like if they can't bounce off these areas or hold these areas, then they just kind of dribble down to the next one. But in the strategy, you got to find some certain key moving average areas that count, because we can't just throw them willy-nilly on there and say, oh, look, we can go down below the next one. It's just because this is a lower value than this one. And it is a relative one in the strategy. The 9, some people use 8, and a 13. The 9, 21, and 50. 50 being your last hope of support. We break a 50, there's usually something, it's not usually great. But, for me to call this area down here as a possibility, it would have to do that. And it can wick and come back up, and we're good. We're maintaining the, the wick down here. Came back and kept it, and we were good. But she starts closing candles underneath that moving average. Well, that's kind of Oh crap! What are you getting? What are you trying to do? Well, then I gotta look for crosses of the moving averages. It's a simple strategy. There's kind of like a dance between price and moving averages in certain ones, and it doesn't have to be certain ones, but the idea is that you got three of them, or three, so many of them spaced apart. You know, some that carry your short term, one that carries your midterm, and then a couple that kind of carry the bigger momentum of the move, which is the 100 right here and the 200 right here. And now the 100 is above the 200 where it needs to be. Let's way above that 200. Well, that's kind of subjective to say that, but you know, you can look at it and say, well, it is in proportion to where these are quite a far distance from the 200 moving average, or all these are quite a far distance from them, the relative to where they are on each other, if you want to get mathematically nerdy. So now I also tag on some bigger time frames, like an 800, 600 and something, 360, a 200. That tells me that the momentum is stacked in our favor. So things are going up and to the right. It's just, you know, there's a little turbulence in the air, and that turbulence can bounce us off of 64 or about 58-ish area, depending on that trajectory it's going there. I would start guessing about 58.8. If it has to get down there. I'm not saying it has to, I'm saying, you know, could. It's on the table. We need this trend line to hold, and it's kind of that simple. This one didn't hold. And here we are on the weekend with a little bit of bearishness going on, but a little bit, just a slight dash of hopium that things may start to slowly turn around this week. Now we got past the FOMC, that mother FOMC, whatever that stands for, and sorry, those are open market stuff. Jerome Powell, the big guy, talked, and he stirs the markets or whatever. So we got through all that wanky week. Comes every month, people. They do the same thing to us every month. Twice a month, there's times in certain days or certain parts of the week that the market makers have a free-for-all pass to just run havocs and try to wipe everybody out. It's just what they do. Is get used to it. It happens in the legacy market. It happens worse over in crypto because they don't have those little stop-in places like they do over on Robinhood that keeps people from selling GameStop or buying GameStop and shooting the price up to $200. Nope. They only stop at $5 at a time or something crazy. But we don't have that in crypto, so we can get some wild crap going on. You must zoom out and remember that Bitcoin has just halved. It is in the most biggest demand it has ever seen in this entire lifespan. And we just cranked the faucet down to half speed. People have to wait a little bit longer to get those juicy prices that they come in on, and soon there's going to be no other choice but number go up, because people will not be letting loose of that Bitcoin they hold in, and the miners aren't producing as much as they have. They're producing the least amount that they have ever produced in the whole history of Bitcoin. Right now, we got a Bitcoin shortage about to happen. It's not felt when the halving comes. It's felt usually about 6 months after. That's on a normal schedule. We're kind of on an elevated schedule. I think we had to run a lot of front runners there coming to this market, but we haven't felt the effects of that happening. So there's a lot of bearish sentiment right now, and it's rightly so to be addressed, because when you look at Bitcoin, we're at a high area. It's very important that we don't lose these areas. And I'll say that because we are at a weird area, man. We are. This is when you can get, listen, the same things that you're hearing right now, the same things that we're hearing back over here. Let's just be real about it. Oh, we're just in a range. We're forming a range right here. So you really want to spend your time drawing all this crap, road dog? I'll draw quickies. We're just in the range right here. Well, Bitcoin will never get below $47,000 ever again. I'm telling you, Mr. X says we're going up to 100 and... No, I'm telling you, Mr. X says we're going up to $150,000, and anybody doesn't believe me, because you know how right I am. I'm the best picker. I'm the best crypto pepper ever. One of these days I want to be a boxer. and a kung fu artist. But right now I'm the best coin picker, and Mr. X has affirmed me that we're going to 150,000. We're just been in this range, and as soon as we break out, we're going to moon. You hear all kinds of things, and I was pointing my finger at any one person. Maybe I lean a little toward one, but it doesn't mean that they said everything I just said there. I'm just playing around. But we're getting the same thing, and yeah, we can be in a range here, but we can drop. Could be a double top. There's a lot of signs here saying, oh my God, you need to chill the freak out, man. And we could get a bigger drop, do the cup and handle, come back down to 45,000, 48,000, but how long would it take that to play out, man? Oh, enough time for us to feel the effects of the happening. And I really, just between me and you, just me and you talking right here, okay? Just me and you. We'll take the analyst hat off. Gotta put an analyst hat on. Take it off. That made no sense whatsoever, but bear with between me and you. I'm still in this mindset where I gotta come back to this chart. And I gotta tell you, they were trying to get us out of the market over here too, with a lot of bear sentiment and getting us scared. One of my favorite, somebody I was actually watching and learning some TA, who you can learn some good TA from. It's just that their sentiment has never changed. Crypto Savvy. And this is back, I mean, I don't know what happened, but ever since then, he's just been full on bear. He was bear here. We're looking for about 9,000. I thought, oh, good, I can get Bitcoin cheaper again at 9,000. No. And that's when I kind of stopped watching Savvy as much when Bitcoin started taking off to like 30. What? But these areas over here, it's between you and me. Just us dogs out here talking, you know, over at the fire hydrant and everything, you know. I licked up my leg, we sniff and all this other stuff, you know, we kind of pass on information, whatever. I'd say, I think we're at this area of the bull market. The halving happened somewhere. Oh my gosh, where did it happen? Over here somewhere. That was about 6 months before we really got that. But when she came, man, did she take off. That's when BitBoy, coin picker, boxer now, was going head on, and I thought he was crazy. He was using about 30x leverage, and you'd see him jump in the trade and go all negative and down thousands of dollars. He was going high, heavy and big, you know, trying to follow in steps of crypto face, but he actually did turn, I think it was $100,000 into $1 million there. And it looked awesome and got a lot of popularity for Market Cipher, the indicator here, which I got the free version. There is a free version, you know, if you don't want to pay a lifetime membership for things, which I'm not a fan of that for anything. And I am a big fan of open source, and maybe that's why I do what I do. But that was cool. And, you know, that's clout, and you know, and everybody, I remember looking at, oh, BitBoy's got skills. Oh my gosh, he's onto something. Well, Market Cipher's the thing. It's cluing him in. He's just buying the dots, and he's making all the money. And he did, man. 100,000, he 10x'd it. And there were times that his moves would get liquidated and this and that. I mean, his gambling nature. He's a gambler, and we kind of, you can see that more as time goes by and you get to know him. And definitely when he starts spinning out of control sometimes. Not to say anything bad, but he's got things that we all have things that we work with. But anyway, he did do that, so he deserves all the credit for doing that. But the thing is, can you repeat it? Mr. Pro, Mr. Expert, that's where I start getting into deviation. Somebody maybe have some luck with something, or maybe be able to make it look like they have some luck with something. I'm not talking about BitBoy. I'm showing my fingers at other people. But, you know, selling the idea of, hey, man, you can do exactly what I did and become less and manifest this. And you just need you have access to my brain. I'll pump you up every day. Are you exercising? Are you drinking enough water? Are you checking in with the group every second? Cause I'm updating it every second. You missed it. You just weren't there at the right time when I updated. I updated it. You should have checked in. Sorry, you know, hey man, sorry to miss that move. I don't know, just wild things out there. I'm not trying to get on a rant or anything, but we do have some top signs for Bitcoin. But it also looked kind of scary over here at this area when we were at the same top areas. And we were having a little bit of a struggle getting past it at $20,000. It was looking kind of iffy. It looked like a big old main double top. And some people were calling for it. But when you zoomed out, I mean, you do have some good signs going on here. A lot better than what we got going on, just to be honest with you. I mean, our moving averages here on the daily. Fantastical. Exactly what you would hope to see for them all, right? Check out on the weekly. Now, because we got a bearish weekly right now. We're not looking so hot on the weekly. How did you look on the weekly up here? That does not make me feel any better, Bitcoin, for this area, because there was nothing bearish here on that from here. If you're looking at the weekly, man, that is one solid move right above the non-moving average, and that's sure. So the fact of a Bitcoin getting in on some trades there, man, you couldn't have picked a more perfect time. Just being patient and riding a low leverage, even a low leverage trade, much less a high leverage trade. And I think Crypto actually did that. He had a trade that he had to open from way down here. And I remember him coming on. That sucker was up like $45 million or something crazy. But in the end, he got screwed out of a lot of that, trying to hold on to that big super trade. And we get this idea in our head sometimes, oh, if I can just catch that one trade that will take me, and that's how we lose money, trying to trace that trade. I'm speaking, it's real, true. Trying to chase that one trade gets us into losing a lot of trades and exchanges, and market makers, I believe they know that. But somehow I think Crypto, something happened with the exchange, and I think it was, I don't know if it was Bybit at that time. Or was it, I can't remember exchange, but he kind of got screwed out of that deal, and the fees were eating him up and this and that. And the percentage that they put up here, that trades up like 50,000%. Yeah, all that stuff is kind of skewed too. And if you pay attention, it varies from exchanges to exchange. I've noticed on some exchanges, when I sell something, part of my position, all of a sudden, I might be at like 25% profit. And I'm saying, well, okay, I'm going to pay myself a little bit. As soon as I do, because it reduces whatever suddenly it jumps up to like it's almost like 48% profit or something like. If I didn't see that, I would say, hey man, I need to prepare for it again if I'm going by that. It's just little clever things that can mislead you if you're not privy to keeping your eyes open and kind of paying close attention to how some of this moves. Because I'd take profit straight twice in a row one time. I was like, wait a minute, this cannot be financial. This is not mathematically accurate. Or at least it's skewed in some direction. Now here on the 4 hour, we got the good old death cross happening right here on Bitcoin. Now, we could look at altcoins. We will look at altcoins, but Bitcoin kind of rules the roost here. I'm just moving these guys over. Dang, man, you didn't come down and hit my target. What's wrong with you, Bitcoin? You come down again? You come down again, Bitcoin? I said you're coming down again? She said no. I don't know if she's going to lie to me. But she's holding this non-moving average on the 4. She's got a little hope to try to recover some ground. What we got is a little case on my charts here with my moving average strategy. Is a little case of Lucy-itis going on right there. And Lucy just kind of suppressing Bitcoin. That's just what she do. When she in the picture, she like to knock price down because she's like to burst everybody's bubble. She's a bubble burster. She mean like that. But there's a little bit of hopium. We're not out of the woods yet, but as long as we're above this green line, that non-moving average, that's a chance we might be trying to come up here. Maybe we can come back up to 66.7-ish, that area. That would be hopeful on the 4 hour. We would need that. That would help our altcoins out and help them keep from bleeding. Stochastics are getting kind of high up here. They're about 74%. There's a little room that we can push up. We need that push We need to see this money flow start. It looks like she's trying to turn the other way. If that happens, that would be a good sign. Then we might have that little push that we need. But it would just get us above Lucy. That's this orange line right here. That's, oh, take her off the screen. That's this one right here. We need to get up there. We need to recover that. Our alts were coming back down to these areas at 65,800 or even lower. We don't want to go lower. We don't want to, because we got an 800 moving average down here on the 4 hour. That's kind of a big deal. We don't see it happen very often. So we don't want to see it happen at all, okay? And all this time, we've not really touched an 800 moving average since like way down here in 28,000. I would prefer if we didn't. Because if we ever lose the 800, well, just like on the time frame, we say we're bearish when we're under 200, just as a general rule. When we lose the 800, it's like, oh my God, I need to just, oh, jump off a bridge. It's not that bad, but I mean, it's a key thing. It's a big deal. It's just it's bigger than losing the 200. Put it that way. It's kind of like, oh crap, you just pooped all over yourself on stage in front of everybody. It's the Joe Biden indicator right here. This is the 800 is like Joe Biden on the stage. That's what I'm saying. So if price comes down, it poops its pants there. It's well, I will blame it on Joe Biden, just because. But again, I will say about it is Lucy's above the 800. The moving averages are sandwiched in a good upward momentum thing. So that's enough about Bitcoin. My God, you're just talking about Bitcoin all night, don't you? I have a lot to say about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, will you marry me, Bitcoin? Bitcoin. Shout out to Sam Webb. We got crispy chicken. How's it going, Chris? Crispy chicken. You've been posting charts over in the Telegram, which is free, by the way. A source of plenty of resources. I'm not going to be over there giving you motivating things every day. I put over valuable news articles that I come across. There is a coin trends bot, which I will start. You'll see me doing some more with coin trends. I just haven't got on the ball with it yet. Which is awesome. It can do TA. It has AI built into it. That's a free service that's over there. There's all kinds of books. There's Thomas Bukowski's books over there if you want to bootleg them with the PDF files. I mean, I'm not advocating that. I'd advocate you go pay for them because he's worth every bit of it. But he also has the patternsite.com, which is free. Thomas Bukowski is kind of like I consider him my mentor, but I've never talked to him or met him, but his teachings have really helped me and made a big difference in how I look at things. So I always give him props up, Thomas Bukowski, because he changed the way that I looked at things. And instead, he gave me a source of reference that can be documented. It's been proven, tested. It's not somebody saying, well, I think it's about 68% that it breaks down this way. Let's just call everything 68%, okay? He actually went through and tested all this stuff out. I mean, he's like kind of a nerdy software guy. He retired from trading. He actually retired from trading in his 30s. He's a nerdy software engineer. He even has free software over there, which I'm probably going to check out. I just noticed that the other day. He's got some software that actually finds patterns for you. It's up to date. It's like 2024 or something. It's probably AI in it. I don't know. I haven't checked it out, but it is cool. I'm supposed to be saying hi to everybody, but somehow I'm talking about the patternsite.com, which now that I mentioned it, I need to go over there. So go to the home screen and he's got, where is it? Somewhere on here. Chart pattern indicator. I think that might be, is that it? I didn't know it was on here. I think this is a spreadsheet. He's got all kinds of stuff over here, people. I mean, my gosh, you can learn everything you need about trading on this site for free. And it's some very proven, you know, less is your college level degree information over here if you want to put it in that kind of context, okay? Versus, hey man, look, let's just draw triangles and measure moves to the upside. Clip and handle. Oh, look, shoulder, head, and shoulder. We're going up. Oh, but you watch it every minute to minute to see whether we're, you know, we can forecast these markets. There are techniques to actually forecast them other than just take it down to the 1 minute. Are you above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute? I'm just saying, use what works for you, but there are some better tools out there than some of the things that are just being passed down and regurgitated and then maybe added to with some, I want to make this up and put this in there, put my little sauce on this. You get all kinds of stuff. I'm just saying, man. Get a variety. Get a variety and see what works. But anyway, I'm trying to find the software. Where are you at, software? I was going to at least like, would you be under other? It's there. There it is, software. It's under other and software. So I'm going to check that out because he is a software engineer. That's what he did before he became rich from trading. I guess. Anyway, it's free. It's totally free because he's a free kind of guy, and I like that because after you make it, and if you made it the way you said you make it, I mean, everything else is just gravy. He's got his books. That's good. Death crawls on the 4 hour. Boom, boom, boom. All that bullish stuff I just said. Oh no, we're gonna die. Look like we're gonna be sideways for a little bit. Even when we get a break up above this. What is it? 66,000. Let's go back to the chats here, Upper. So, Mr. Miles, let's see if he mutes it again. Yay! Idiot. Oh, man, I get freaked out about that. I have to check. Mr. Miles, why did Caspa have to dip down? You maniacs! You blew it up! Oh, that'd be all the hell. Sleeko says ABT came back to. I know, I got it on my list of hotties right there, so. Sam says, a good thing we got Kadena, Mr. Miles. You are correct, Sam. What for Kadena, what would we do? Just to be that backup for when Caspa has a bad day. Oh, hell. Now we lost half our viewers. Mr. Miles says, wait, you don't have a product that exists? Then who the hell owns Rogue Dog Coffee and Enema Shop? You know, I do hustle. I do. I work my butt off and all the butts that come into my Enema Shop. So don't get it twisted. We get those little side hustles. Let's take a look at Casper. She did drop down. I had orders there that she got me. Yeah. I was like, oh man, my bag got bigger. She must have dropped. That's how I tell. She came down to what? Where did she touch down to? What? Actually, you're not one of my special PBs. I got you as a white line. So we just took this wick over here. Oh, right. For the algorithm. Let me get the picture right. Okay. Is my hair good? We good? Do I need a... Honey, can you steam my suit? I'm getting ready to take a picture. Get the Elvis vibes going on. Ready? Nailed it. Whoa. Nailed it. Where else can you find this? Where else other than YouTube? Bye-bye course. I have no course. It's just fun to talk about crypto. Nobody else wants to listen to me but you guys, so we just hang out. That's part of the love of crypto. Look, man, Casper lost a trend. Why did you lose a trend line, Casper? That's kind of a big deal. What's up with that? Whoa now. Whoa. I'm on the 4 hour. You opened and closed the candle below my trend line, Casper. Mr. Miles, you are not going to like what I have to say right now. And I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Miles. It's Lucy's fault. There is a devilish plan afoot here, Mr. Miles. And Caspa is being tempted to go to the dark side for a little while. Caspa needs all the prayers in the world because Lucy here, the 600 166 moving average. That's why I call her Lucy for Lucifer. She's a little devil girl. She's a little she's what she is, because I backtested this and she really does have a price to play in all markets, it seems. So if you hear that the devil is in the middle of Wall Street, I will not disagree with that. She seems to have some relevance to price, if you haven't noticed, just from what I've shown you here on the 4 hour, how she can kind of nail some certain areas of supports and resistance. It's freaky weird, but she right now she's crossed below the 800. Now it's not totally horrible, but she's up to her tricks again. I'm just saying, she's going to try to get price to come down around 13 cents. Don't, maybe 14. She can negotiate a little bit, but you know, I'm just saying, she's kind of picky that way. Now she might not make it happen all at once. She's kind of sly. So just know the devil is evolved on the 4 hour chart now. She's given us some new areas. And I don't know what would cause this. I don't know what the narrative would be behind such a move, but we have to put it on the table that 13.8-ish may be coming into play. Might get lucky here. We got a little bit of an angle going on. And there'll be bounces and whatnots in betweens and this and that. So I'm looking for wow, 14 cents. That just solely because she dropped off of this, and now we start looking to this other trend line. It can happen. Unless she wants to wig down here and just pull something out of her butt and start just going to the moon. Well, I'm not against that. I'm all for that. But yeah, she is. I tried to break it to you as gently as I could. The 15.1 was coming into the picture, man. I put it out there just as gently as I could, Mr. Miles. But we got to have a serious talk now, because what we don't want to see, Mr. Miles, come down to the 1 hour, if you please. And I know that the devil looked far away on that 4 hour chart, but right here, she's right in the middle of price action. She is right there, Mr. Miles. Casper went out on the streets hanging around. What's that avenue you ain't supposed to go down in Los Angeles, Mr. Miles? She down there, hanging out with all the girls. Yeah, she on the streets. They partying tonight pretty hard. It's the weekend, so we see Casper's kind of getting their wild oats out right now with the devil down at 15 cents. On this particular chart, 14.5 cents looks interesting. Can't you find some support at this 15 cent area? Remember the little line we drew back here? Oh, look, you didn't put it right on it. Put it right on it. Still nailed it. All right, so here's what, remember the big trend line? What we don't want to see, but what normally happens, what we normally expect in traditional TA to happen in this scenario, bounce back up here, come back to about, what is this, about 15.6. This is where she broke out of, so she can not even make it up that high. Retest the actual price that she broke out of, that's one thing. The trend line, or even ride this trend line for a little bit. That's more bullish than bearish, in my personal opinion. The quicker the rejection, the more bearish the move, in my personal opinion. Like if we come up here and instantly just drop. Normally see that in the bear market. Yeah, big old drop. She comes up here and has a hard time, or doesn't even go all the way up there. And well, that's a little bit more in our favor. It won't be that bad. And so those are some of the things to take in consideration when you're looking at these ideas, in my personal opinion. Again, getting above the 9 anytime is a good sign. She just has to maintain it. Loses it, rejection over here. That could be the bearish retest, and then your measure move, if you take one, would come into effect, and all this, you know, your other levels to look at, which kind of bring us down to this 14 to cent area. Just saying, next few weeks for Casper might be interesting to get some deals. This is Saturday, it's a Sunday. I could see And this is Wednesday, so I said we ought to get a good idea about Monday afternoon. Should have a pretty good idea about what she's going to do. But I see it as a good place for me to build up my bag, and that's what I'm doing. Because eventually she's going to come back up, and we'll be testing 19, 20, 25 cents eventually. But will 25 cents happen this month? This month is not looking good for altcoins, I'm just saying. Oh no, what did you do? You hit the, where we, whatever. Use that reverse button. Stick it in reverse. I find it very interesting that Standard & Poor, this is on the monthly chart. Let's take it to the daily. With everything going on, man, tech stocks, Standard & Poor 500, mini futures, still just cranking up, man. Cranking on up. That should help us in crypto, you would think. Now, a lot of the market people are expecting this to tank soon, with some of the other things that they're looking at as far as the traditional legacy market. Well, that will not be fun. We got some things that we can look at to kind of help us get a few ideas. The stablecoin dominance, DXY, same thing that legacy market. Dollar is gaining short term, it seems like. But with altcoins, man, it is apparent that we have lost a major trend line, and that's not a good thing. We didn't want to see that. We wanted to bounce and number go up. Instead, we're putting ourselves in a situation where altcoins can be taking a hit. I'm just throwing it out there because that's what the charts are telling me. And so I'm trying to find some places, I'm battening down my hatches on I've got a lot of kind of position trades that I've been working on building. So building a big position, I've got to have a lot of wiggle room in my planning so that I can take advantage of these big drops, which means that I have to be on my toes on my risk management to make sure that I can handle these or start shorting. I can start shorting. And wow, I may have to start looking at doing that. But it does look like some altcoins are going to continue to take a beating. Short term, we might get that bullish retest, but just being below this trend line right here, not good. No bueno. So like we're expecting on Caspa, and probably what we'll see reflected on a lot of the altcoin charts, because they're reflected by Total 3, is that we might come up here and then a bigger, that's a big deal for Total 3. So that's giving a clue that, hey man, over this next week, if you see your altcoins go up, if your memes start skyrocketing, whatever you're in, that you get a bounce up and you're like, man, I'm almost back to where I was. Well, you might want to take a plan to do something, because there's no guarantees that you're going to get back up to exactly where you were. But this might be an opportunity for you to manage risk. That's how I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking for prices hopefully to come back up. They may not. They may continue down. That will suck. But, you have to manage risk. With spot margin, I've got my ways to do that. I'm ready. I just don't want it to happen because it sucks. I don't like riding the roller coaster. But for what I'm doing to build a position for position trading, I am. And gosh darn it. Why are you doing this to us? And remember, this was important to me, and this is why I do use Total 3, is because I'm able to take these. This was a 3.618. That was taken from down here. That was saying this is a known area for strong reversals to happen at this area. It's actually right below the normal 618 Fibonacci line. If this doesn't make any sense to you guys, you can ask questions. I can explain it more, but you guys know I'm a big fib person. I'm a fib trader. They've just sold me on it. Everything is frequency and vibration, and the fibs is right there. It's in everything. And definitely is in trading and psychology and however you want to dice it. The universe is programmed to respect the Fibonacci. So it tells us that this is an area where we can expect a reversal, and my gosh, if we didn't get it, Now, if you're looking at patterns here, this is not a head and shoulders, and you can try to play it and tell yourself it is. But the especially on Bitcoin, well, you could probably make an argument here. I'm looking at that as the triple top, which is very similar. But anyway, it's a reversal area here at a reversal point, which I kicked myself because I didn't take enough profit up there. I knew to do it, and I kept warning. And that's one of my weaknesses, is when I see bearish stuff, a lot of times I'm like, you know, I'm still holding out the hope that it will still, and is, you know, I let some bias be formed in me when I should be just a little bit more cold and calculated and said, hell no, man, we probably need to get out 50% of our positions at least. That would have been a smarter move. But no, I've got a little bit of bias, like, okay, it's good. I'm you know, you saw me on videos warning about this whole thing, but, and I can do that to myself, and, you know, it still doesn't mean that I execute it. And that's the whole thing, no matter how good your TA is, or how good you are at reading charts, or even projecting and forecasting, it's how you execute that really matters, how you actually do your trade management, managing your portfolio, the ups and downs, whether you get out or not, or you got a strategy in place and how you affect it. It's really not something that you come in here, well, today looks good, let's go with this. Well, today looks bad, let's go with that. And a lot of people approach it that way, but that's not the smart way, in my personal opinion. You got to plan for things. And this was a key. Hey man, this was the charts. This was the Fibonacci saying, hey buddy, hey, you might want to make some plans over here, because I'm getting ready to tank this freaking market on your ass. Now, I'll give you a couple of chances, but if you don't figure it out, it's not on me, buddy. It's on you, because you're just not looking. The signs are here, but you're not paying attention. We'll get that through your sticky head, okay? Do something. I'm getting ready to tank the market. If you don't want me to take you down with it, you need to start making a plan. You do have a plan, right? Why are you in this? Why are you in there if you don't have a plan? Have you never heard of a trading plan, an investment plan? You got a plan? Why ain't you doing that? Well, then why are you sitting here talking to me about it? Go out and trade your plan. So the Fibonacci gets kind of preachy sometimes, so I'm just saying. And now you got Mr. Trendline saying, hey man, just hang around. I want to show you where you can pick up a good short going on here. Yeah, we'll start shorting. How you feel about that? You look good for the summer? You've been doing your leg presses, you know? Aye. Okay, do some squats, you know, look good in the trunks. Going to the pool, we're going to be doing some shorts. Shorting, yeah. Because we'll let it kind of bait right now and come up, and then once it reaches this area, we might be able to find us some shorts. Yeah. So guys, are your bags, are they hurting? On your hodl bags, are you feeling the pain or feeling it? Let's see what we've been missing here. Nailed it. Let's mess with him. It's muted. Oh wow. I do freak out about that, man. I do. I never try to keep that mic muted. I just feel like the biggest loser when I do it. I was like, heart drops. Sam says Bitcoin Alpha right there. I'm delayed on my chat, so I don't know which part you're talking about. Bitcoin ain't making 150,000 if US dollar tether weekly linear bottom trend doesn't break and tether dominance it goes to zero. That tether dominant, the stablecoin dominance is where there's. I put them both together. Yeah, the main one is tether dominance, right? But Fish Guru's got, boy, that's got me thinking. Just got me thinking. And so, you know, I have to, and that's I'm just being cautious. I have to be cautious because there's some wild stuff. We got the tether dominance thing, which, you know, is it going to break? And is that, and tether dominance has to go freaking, I don't know, man. For us to get that the scenario I was talking about earlier with Bitcoin, where she was before, like, oh my gosh, did you go on the weekly? Like back in this area, to get this big freaking move up, we're not on the right place on that tether dominance chart for that to happen. We're not, and that's freaking me out. It is, and that plays into the narrative we were talking about you know, you're hearing the same things over here when it was a top that we're in a range or whatever. You're hearing those things. And here's the sad thing. You don't know. You don't know if you're topped out or not unless you're looking at some key indicators. And one of my key indicators that I look for to tell me if I'm topped out is the MACD on the weekly. And I did something I said I wasn't going to do. I said next time it crosses like that, I'm out. You know, I'm out. And here I am. I'm sitting here saying, oh, maybe it can turn around. I mean, these are just some things we need to probably have a conversation about. Those tops that we just looked at there on Bitcoin, that's when the MACD crossed. We dropped. We flushed red. This was the second top. And that's a great way that you can gauge the market to know that. And the trend line strategies, that's what I preach. That's what I keep talking about. That's the basis of what I preach. How good am I playing it out? Because we had our cross, but we haven't broken a trend line yet. So I guess I'm still okay. But now I'm paying very close attention on the weekly for the trend line and the moving average, because you've already gave me my first sell signal right here with that cross. Now this could be a fake out like we got over here. That can happen. There was something, but we were in a bearish trend. Not really. You don't really see much of that going on the up from what we had before. She just usually kind of bounces up and down off that line, never really crossing. So this is kind of new, and by all means and purposes, yeah, I broke my rule. I'm kind of pissed about that in retrospect, because to me that's a top signal. So dang, your old dog, you're telling us it's going to go up and down at the same time. No, I'm telling you it's going to go sideways too. I'm going to cover all three of my bases. Don't get it twisted. We know how to work this YouTube algorithm. It's going up, down, sideways, and we're going to nail it every time. Ha! That's the YouTube way. But my real life trading way, man, I mean, seriously. There is such a big argument for both scenarios. And for this scenario, they want you to feel exactly what we feel right now and think exactly what we think right now. And look at this as being a top, and it's all over. And that's exactly what gives them the little edge that they need to get everybody out, get the best prices, and just rock us up after a halvening. So, I mean, I've got a little bit of fundamentals and big picture coming into play, and then I got what the charts are telling me, but the charts has got some bearish stuff that I mean, you can't throw it out the window. There's some good stuff, but I mean, we got to hold it. This 9 moving average on this weekly. They got a red dot here on the weekly on MarketSiver. Now, if you go to the monthly though, man, monthly looks like it's got a lot. Well, it did until just recently. Now you got the red dot. Well, now you got that burning in the back of my head. It's like, oh, even the monthly is saying we're going down. But the Ichimoku cloud doesn't say that on the monthly. The moving average says, yeah, we can, and I'm cool if you come all the way down to 50,000. So now we got a lot of wiggle room on these bigger time frames, you know, and they could still be bullish overall. Bounce off the 9, or bounce off the come down and test the 21 and bounce off 36,000. We're still bullish. That's a magnet. Price will come down to the 21 moving average. I hope not. Hope the hell not. No, we want on the bigger time frames. We want to stay above a 9, and we got some wiggle room. So yeah, there's bear signs out there too. So I'm being mindful. I'm trying to watch my bases. I'm not trying to go too heavy. I'm not trying to go too hard. I'm trying to make sure that if there is a move to the downside for my long-term positions that have some leverage on them, that I'm ready for it. And I have to figure out if I'm gonna short it a little bit down there, de-risk a little bit, how I'm gonna play it. For my hodl bags, I don't without leverage, I don't care. And for any that I'm trading, I'm just mainly trading Bitcoin right now, and I'm sweating a little bit, I'm honest. Right now, I've been nursing a trade, and I've broken my rules there too. I'm managing it, but man, I've had so much opportunity cost. I could have shorted and just made so much money, but no, instead, I'd try to go the other way and manage this trade and de-risk and I don't like what I'm doing right now. And I did it once and I turned right around and did it again. And this time I'm like, sucker, I just need you to come up. If we can get to 69,000, I can de-risk and then I can get into a money-making trade. Okay. If we can get up to 65,400 on one of them, I can come out just fine. But what I've done is I got stupid and I had an entry. I think my entry was around 70,000. I've had to work that sucker all the way down to 60 something, 66. And that's a feat to do on this margin crap. And I don't like doing it. It's risky to do it. It's a tactic that I've learned to use, but I want to get away from it. I don't want that to be my crutch. I want better habits to where, you know, shucks, just take that loss and just flip now, or take that loss and wait. But instead, you know, it got to a certain point when it was red. I was like, well, let's see if we can mitigate it. I need to have a better cutoff point. And that's just me, what I notice in myself as a trader. Trading's a journey, and investment's a journey. It's all a journey, but you learn things about yourself and how you look at the markets and everything. I feel like we're not looking at any coins whatsoever. We're just sitting here listening to me ramble and talk about trading, which probably nobody gives a damn about. Fish Guru said, Tether is what the market makers use to chase liquidity. They can mint it and burn it later as well. It's the DXY for crypto without a doubt, and other stable coins are secondary. Yep, I agree. Fish Guru's got, I can tell he's an OG. He got some of that good OG wisdom going on, so I would pay attention to you know what? Does it say these? Sometimes okay. Fish Guru says, dog, you should pull up the SPX weekly and check the 2007 high against the 200 high, or 2000 high. Because we might be looking at something like that, and look how close Tether linear weekly bottom trend is. Jeez. You said about 2007? I've got I can't remember what, other than it being a top. I've got some trend line going there. I have to take a minute to remember what my logic was. So let me see what you got going on. Pull up SPX weekly and check the 2007 high against the 200. Now the 200 high, what are you talking about there? Is that against the 2000 high? I'm thinking you probably meant that. So I'm going to go with that. Check it against that. Because we might be looking at some, getting a double top. What are you talking about for Bitcoin? And let's see. Oh, and I think you mentioned this against. Look how close US Tether linear weekly bottom trend is. So I don't know if I need to look at those together or separate. But on tethered dominance, I no doubt see this one coming up, and I see a rejection going on. The 9 moving average is giving me a sign of early rejection here. Now maybe there can be, we don't want it to get bullied. We want that rejection. Don't get it twisted. We need to be cheering for this rejection, because when this one starts going back up, then our bitty Bitcoin starts. Where's Honda bitty Bitcoin? When this one goes up, that's when we're getting bearish on Bitcoin. That's when we're going down. That's one of the times. But one of the good things I got is on the weekly that we're below the 9 and it's starting to roll over. We want to see that roll over. And my take on the market, what I've been seeing just from this charts and whatever I can put together, is that if we get the rollover, we can have, you know, maybe what is this? How many weeks? Might have a couple of months, maybe into August or something, where things are good. Maybe even longer if it goes sideways here at the bottom is kind of what I see it. And I think what Fish Guru is saying that, you know, I think he might be talking about the possibility of this break into the downside, what that might mean. He said something about it going to, you know, towards 0%. Now, I don't know if that will happen, but that's the situation that I could see where Bitcoin would just freaking, I mean, if Tether dominance is going through 0, what is that meaning? People are getting out of Tether, so either one, something could happen to Tether regulation or something, and suddenly it's a hot potato. Nobody wants Tether. They want something else like a CBDC. Who knows what scenario it would be? I don't have a clue. That would make Tether dominance go to 0, or suddenly nobody wants Tether whatsoever because they're wanting to buy Bitcoin. Well, that can make Tether dominance come down toward, not go to 0, but come toward 0, break this trend line. So, I mean, there's a bad situation that can do it, and there's a good situation that could do it. But I know it's a bad situation for it to go up this way, and there's a lot of I'm not going to say magnets, but there's a lot of volume, momentum. There's a lot of momentum that we've got that could help us get up there. And that means, if I'm reading this right, that this could actually be a double top, and we could come down, and that little cuff and handle situation might, we do 48, 58,000, or 48, maybe 48. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it. It's around the 618 of this whole move. It's a nice number that it likes at this 48. So just off the cuff, that's what I'm coming with. We could get something. I don't want that to happen, but there's some signs it's pointing to that too. So they got us right where they want us, man, to where we're either coming back down to 3,000. I think it was 9,000 was the story then. We're coming back down to 9,000, or we're blasting to the moon. And I think we're in that same place here. And I've maintained that for a while. That's been my theory. But which way is it going to go? I don't know, man. You think with the halvening that we're set for up, and we are eventually, but could there be some stuff in play with what they can do? Who has a big stockpile of Bitcoin right now that they bought at $50,000 that they could drag us back down to 48 or 50 if they need to do a little magic smoke and mirrors moves so they can get in better? I mean, I don't know. These are the things that they got us. They got us by the balls. Then they're tickling a little bit and they squeezing kind of hard just a little bit. But make no mistake about it, my friend, they got us by the balls. And sometimes it feels good. And sometimes they squeeze and it hurts. But they got us. They got us by the cojones. And that's my talk. That's my take on it. Oh God, oh. We have not even looked at any coins tonight, but we got 13 people here. Okay, I'm going to come to the chat, make sure I didn't, because I missed a lot of the chat, and sorry if I missed anything. Striker says, I can't check trades right now. Mr. Guru says, 2007 SPX high was slightly higher than the 2000, and even a little more rally won't make it far unless that bottom trend breaks. Unlikely. So, you don't think that, so you think the trend's got to break before we can get a rally? So I kind of look at that different, if I'm understanding you right. Because, I mean, I just noticed, I mean, it didn't break over here. We just bounced up and down off of it. And that's when we were really, that's when we had our big parabolic move out of Bitcoin when it was doing that. So I'm kind of looking at this idea. But, if it did break, but what would it mean if it broke? I mean, personally, I would rather see this scenario. This is what I would hope for, right? It's something like this, where it just comes there and goes sideways, and then price just keeps pumping to heaven. Because if it breaks, that just makes me think that, well, seriously, something may be broken with Tether or stable coins. And it makes me think of regulation and something that went wrong or sideways with regulation or something. I don't know. So if I had to look at other indicators that might give me an indication that it's could come back down, well, stochastics are starting to get up in the area. They're not anywhere near ready to turn around on us. Do you notice this, that on the weekly here, that we got the green light for stablecoin dominance to rocket up to the moon? So, man, we really need this rollover. We need this rollover. If we don't get a rollover, if we don't get a rollover, what I see is that we could go, we're going to do the double tops, may have do the double top scenario, or Bitcoin's is the whole of the bull market's over, which does not make any sense whatsoever. So I'm not going for that. But I'm starting to see signs of a double top scenario, which means that we're getting close to we just got to figure out where that might be. And that I'm not clear on. We could come up and then come down. Right now, if that dollar tether keeps going up, we're just going to keep on dropping from here. I don't want that. I'd rather go up and then come down. That would help me out. Well, that would help us all out. That would give us a chance to get ready for it better than just having it sprung on us. Which really, it wasn't sprung on us. The signs were there that something's going on. And it's been there with the old MACD. Just because I read it doesn't mean that I'm going to do it. That's what sucks. MG Motorsports, how's it going? This guru says the whole market is broken, bro. I'm not going to argue that point. Look at how much money in the market, dog. 97% of assets are performing poorly. They are. I agree, but I think a lot of the attention is on Bitcoin and just the oversaturation of all these altcoins and meme coins. It's close, all the altcoins are being used to when you would bring a new coin in the market, fork off Bitcoin or put it onto fork off Litecoin or whatever, or build a new one from scratch. You were taken away from Bitcoin's market share. That's why we have Bitcoin dominance, right? I'm just talking to people in general here. But now we got altcoins coming in the picture, which ties into, first Ethereum, because that's what brought it in. Altcoins to stablecoin. Now we spread out to other chains, and there's a lot of them, a lot of layer ones out there. They're all they're stealing from each other. Because there's no new money coming in yet. It's the same old money that's just kind of regurgitating and selling off of this project to buy the shiny new project that's taking over here, selling off of this to buy the meme coin that's right, to buy Brett or Toshi or whatever, or GME or whatever, it's in a weird ass phase, for real. And we're not going to get those real big gains that we're looking for until some fresh new money comes in. And I'm hoping for a government. Yeah, that could happen. And corporations coming in to put their treasuries. So there's some big buyers out there, not necessarily retail, for Bitcoin. But they don't give two shits about the altcoins that we're looking at. Hell, half of them are trying to pump the bag so they can dump on you and profit off of them. So, just keeping it real. I mean, this is crypto. Let's take a look. We're talking about ABT. Let's take a look at some altcoins though. ABT. I'm spending all my time talking about the market. I've only got a few more minutes left before I turn into a pumpkin. Arc Block. Take a look at on Coinbase here. Oh, did she just dump? Oh, that's the weekly. We're on let's take a look at, here we go. So here she is, 800. We're on the 4-hour time frame. 800 moving average. Respect. It should respect the 800 moving average. If it doesn't respect the 800 moving average, you got a very disrespectful coin on your hands, and don't want to be with those disrespectful ones because they'll break you. It's a big deal to find support or lose the 800 moving average on, especially on this time frame. kind of a key one that they look at. So moving average in general up and beautiful. It's just you know, had to come back and start visit grandpa. Got grandma and grandpa right here. And Lucy right there in the middle. I think Lucy's grandpa's side chick always seems to be around grandpa a lot. I don't know. She's been up there the whole time I've been talking. So what do you think? You think Lucy's grandpa's side chick? You think she left Granny with all the kids to run wild, and grandpa's hanging out with Lucy because, well, she's kind of hot looking, I'll give you that. Sometimes that's all it takes. Where is your constitution, Grandpa? Looky, these are ABT. Look, it broke back into the trend line. That little Hail Mary that we're hoping for. She did it. Is it gonna hold? Will it hold? It's like we opened a candle there on the that looked good. We're touching the green cloud, which, you know, we can lose it. You lost it before, but it's a good sign. The first good sign that maybe we can hold this area here. So for ABT, it needs to hold this, and if it does, it's got a good chance to recover. And I will say this: anytime that you get a bear trap, opposite of what you have a bull trap, but coming back into the pattern, I'm immediately going to tell you I'm looking for a nice strong move back to the top of the pattern area, which could be 473, which would ironically be right in trajectory here, and that would be the high that we had right over here. So a retest of that can probably, I mean, you just trend line this guy out. Now she may break this and get a bottom and start going on just a little bit of a different trajectory. And you can, you know, monitor that. So, but just following this trend line says 470 could be on the radar. What we got by Monday? She's got some work. She's going to have a hiccup at 383 in this area, but we want to see it do something like this. Just kind of get up there. So ABT looking good. She deserves a hand for that. Go ABT, because she was not looking good. I'm telling you. So we can take this as a possible positive sign for our other altcoins too. They all belong to the same total indice, right? You know, which kind of covers where we're kind of headed overall. And there are a few outliers, but sometimes this can be a foreshadowing of what we can expect from other altcoins if they're showing some resistance areas at these same moving averages they seem to be playing in right now. If they're below, you know, a trend line. If this one has shown that, yes, you can recover, well, the other ones might get some wind of that and say, well, I might be able to recover too. Maybe with a foreshadowing that maybe we'll get a little bit that little turnaround of altcoins. But now, will this one play out? Will it continue to go up here and be bearish, or will it come back and fall? Because it could. We don't want to see it lose this trend line again. That would suck. And then I'm getting bearish again and looking for 195 and cursing under my breath and whatever. But to start stair stepping our way up. So we'll pay attention to some other altcoins and see if we got some of those possibilities, some of those signs. Let's try to connect a few trend lines here. And oh yeah, I like that. See, now we're above this, as this is going to be support now too. So not only are we broken back into this channel, we've broken back into this secondary channel. So, and it's got an area to, which is right up here at the 200 moving average area too, about 378, so that we can find some resistance there. So I would expect the resistance to come back down and try to break to the upside of that. ABT looking like a good little comeback now. Lost that trend line. Look, actually it's going to hell. Got the bearish retest and came all the way down. So this area didn't touch my 191 target. You suck, Road Dog. You suck. But you know, let me give you just a little bit of a insight with Fib Magic. I haven't done this, but I'm sure that this is going to relate from the swing low to swing high. There's going to be a fib, a 1272 come in there to show you where a great target to buy is. I want to do this in a repeat. This is one of my major tricks. Well, this is the Road Dog Alpha, normally reserved for the membership areas, talking about, or where I have swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. Normally we're looking at bounces. And bounce off the 382. If it holds it, it's a good move. Not very popular. 618 bounces, normally what we're looking for. I lost it. We're looking for the 786 to hold. It did not give a crap. It plowed on through. We lose a 786, you lose the 886 areas. Those are the last two areas that we normally look at for a normal retracement, and that's a steep retracement. When we started breaking below that, we have what I affectionately refer to as my oh shit targets. And that's what I called them during the bear market when I used this strategy to nail the bottoms. Even the point of Bitcoin, 15.6, was done with this. And that's why I had an order field at 15,600 for Bitcoin, was with this strategy. Swing low to swing high. The 272. Now, since those times, I've also studied and learned more, and I now include the 1.13 into that. But the 1272 is one of the best little forecasters for these anomalies that happen in this market. And if you can think about it ahead of time, well, that's why you see me do some oh shit targets and some moon boy targets, because they're part of it. We don't know if it's going to happen, but if it does happen, that's a great place to look for it to turn around. And if you like what I just showed you there, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm losing everybody because I'm boring people. I got less people now. It's also almost 12 o'clock midnight too. So if I'm just telling you old news and stuff that you don't give a crap about, or was that something that might be helpful? Because I like to give out something helpful. Sleeko says, let's go ABT. You look good. Dude, this is a bottom. This is a bottom sign saying that we got some good stuff coming. Now from here, after we've established what our range is, now we pull our fib, swing high to swing low, and we just play it like natural. Again, 200 moving average, confluence, trend line, confluence, 380 is your target to go with if you're wanting to nail the target. And that's what I look for. Secondary target, right up here. Just in case she doesn't get rejected there and come back down. So you got more wind in her sail, or maybe she comes down and then the next one is the 422. So that's how I look at these. Oh crap, did you just copy that whole thing? That's how I look at these things. That's my take. And the whole goal is for you. I mean, really, if you're having trouble trying to pick up TA, or you're trying to understand some of my things, what I'm doing, the way I look at things, or anybody else for that matter of fact, you need to have your charts. You need to have your laptop or your computer or your TradingView, or at least nothing else on your phone. Something where you can try to chart along with us. This is how you learn. And this is why I don't do courses or anything. Well, one reason I don't do courses, but this is what I be telling you. That's what you got to do. You got to chart along. You don't need a course. You just hang around with whoever you like and just mimic what they do. You will pick it up. It will make sense to you. You might learn something new or backtest something, you know, but chart along with whoever you're watching to learn how that they do what they do. And I don't know, it's kind of like writing down your thoughts or your goals. Somehow it just kind of makes it click a little better. But I mean, I do realize I do some things that other people don't normally do. There are other people that do what I do in the way that I do it. I just don't see it that much in crypto YouTube. Or if I do, they don't really talk about, you know, maybe why they choose that area or something. But I don't. My system works for me. Your goal, if you're new to this, or even if you're experienced in it, is define what works for you. So if I've got a little piece of the puzzle that kind of fits for you, then you can add it, or somebody else has got it. You're building your own. You're doing what we all did. You're learning as much as you can about these different things. You find what resonates with you. You find something that you can understand, makes sense to you, and something that actually works for you when you try it out. You're like, that does work. I see that. It does show me a little more than what I would see normally. Because, you know, having an indicator or using other tools is not a bad thing, because if you didn't have it, all you would have is just straight price action, which you can do. This is my futures account over here that I'm still up. I've maintained to hold on to my profit, or the biggest part of it. But it's been a wild ass ride. And it's not worth the headache or even the extra risk. If Bitcoin decides, hey man, I'm going down to 52. Shoot, man, I'm screwed. Or I'm going to have to, you know, I've got to pull some major moves and take the chance that, well, it's not going to be enough to make it. I lost everything. I don't want to go there. I don't like that. Now, right now, I'm doing good. I'm trying to de-risk is what I'm trying to do, because I got some big ass positions over here. And I have actually de-risked a little bit. But I'm here where I'm just down $74 and down 0.003 Bitcoin. The Bitcoin one is the one I'm really working on. I don't like to lose Bitcoin at all. So I got to see price get up to about 60, where are we at? 66,800. And then I can work on de-risking this one. This one will be in profit if we get up there. I'll take some of that profit. But my biggest thing now is because I think there could be another move down in Bitcoin, and I don't want to have to ride this sucker down. So here is my P&L on this, because I think it's important. This is the button that all YouTubers are, all YouTube gurus out there, especially the trading group gurus that made all their money, make millions trading crypto, but just never get their account above $5,000. They don't know how to press this button that tells you what's going on, but anyway, this is what it looks like. It says 7 days. I made 900. I'm lucky if I can keep this. I did have this up to like 60 something, 6,063 or something, but you know, but I managed to take all my, you know, I did something stupid, okay, but I'm trying. We were 30. I remember being this account being 3,600, and I got it up to 5,000. I'm considering myself to be at 5,000, so I can. I'm just kind of. I'm in an unbeknownst friendly competition with this other dude that he doesn't even know I'm in a competition with him. I just think that I can. I don't think it'll take me a year to get this to $10,000. And I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, I took some out and put some over there, but then I had to bring some bar back." You know, I'm not going to play those, you know. Or when I get to 7,000, I'll take 2,000 out and buy Bitcoin, because the original game plan was to double it and see how far you could go, and then change the rules. I'm going to go back to the original rules and just see how far we can take this sucker up without me. Wow, or up to 7,000. I'm going to wiggle some out. Oh, look, and you know, because I've seen this number on somebody else's drop to like 1,000, and then the next day all of a sudden there's 5,000 back in there. What happened to that trade that you were in, mister? Did you get liquidated? Well, the profit and loss button will tell you that. And so for some reason they don't hit that. There's something else that you can do if you go over to futures. Should be anywhere. But there's something called position history. Oh my God. Look at this. You hit this button called position history, and it brings up every trade that you've done. And you can see that my last trade, I closed it out on the 12th. So it was a few days. I've been doing this one. The 12th, I closed it out. I thought I was down on one of them. Was I not? Oh, you trip me up so much sometimes. There was one where I got stopped out, and I thought I got stopped out in profit, but it told me I was negative. Now it's telling me I'm in profit, so I'm having trouble trusting all the numbers or how he calculates things sometimes. But this is my P&L right here. My last one I closed was on the 12th. Last one I closed out on that was the 7th. So I've been in this trade since the 12th, riding this sucker from $70,000 down to 66, and not losing. And I'm not liking it. I'm not proud of it. I think I should have. The smart move would have been for me to get out early a long time ago. And I'm down 20% on this one. So I don't like that. This one's my 66,800 average entry. And I've got a $19,000 position here, 19,500 contracts, which is more than what I normally do. And I'm not crazy about it. I'm not liking it. Road Dog's doing some stupid. It just has not caught up with him yet. And he's taking a chance. And may pull it off, but just admitting that this is stupid and there needs to be a better way for Road Dogg strategy not to let this happen in the first place. What other YouTuber is going to explain all this to you and be honest with you? What? Only here on the Road Dogg Crypto channel. Do we have a short squeeze happening now because I'm live? Please let it be so, Jesus. That would be awesome. That's what I need. Why can't you do it? Dear Jesus. I know you are not a market maker, but I think that you have the capable skills, and I would encourage you to try being one tonight. And drive prices up to $72,000. That's just a ask and receive type prayer that I just want to throw your way in all sincerity. I'm not joking. I mean, if you can do it, I'll say, hey, thank you, Jesus. And if you choose not to, I'll still say thank you, Jesus, because, you know, you're God, I'm not, and all that stuff. Or your dad is. Your dad's God. No, I'm clearly not. He does kind of like you a little bit better. I know, but, you know, you're his son and everything. Well, that's okay. I just lost my spot over here. Anyway, position history. So how's me trades doing? And I'm not jumping in and out every day. I would love to just pull like, I made $5,000 today trading. Yes, I've hit another $3,000 today. That would be awesome. I'd be cool doing that over even a couple of weeks on these swing trades, but that's just not how I work. But I'm not one to say, oh, I'll risk $1,800 to make 50. And if you do that 5 times a day, it's such bullshit when I hear that, because who the hell wants to take that big of a risk to make $50 and then do that 5 or 6 times a day? That is the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. And I can guarantee you that person's not sitting there doing it 5 times a day, because that account is still sitting, luckily, at the $5,000 mark. Now, if it stays there naturally, I do not know, because somebody does not ever hit the profit or position history or the profit and loss button. The profit and loss button tells you if money's coming in and out, and it gives you the whole story. Are you bitching again, Road Dogg? Man, I don't know. The market's been crazy. I don't even know what my shows have been about lately. Justin Crispo says, just buy Caspa and all the world would be better off. I need to put some more orders in and get ready to take out some more Caspa. Fish Guru. That's a good comment. It isn't bears versus the bulls. It's all about us versus the market makers, and the news is out after the move is in. And I agree with that. And I know, man, if you're in this cycle, last cycle, it was the diamond hand thing. Diamond hands. Never heard of diamond hand. Before it was something like, was it steel hands or something like that? Then it turned into diamond hands, and that was the buzzword, diamond hands. I've got diamond hands. Everybody was proud to have diamond hands. They had the big balls that they weren't going to sell, which, you know, it's great if you have a habit of selling too early, getting totally out, selling way early and watching something 10x after. That kind of sucks. So a diamond hand thing, or even a better plan, is good. But yeah, they get you in the mindset of diamond hands, and then when they're ready to dump on you, well, we got our diamond handers just sitting there waiting to take it all. Keep this price held up while we take our profits. How did I get it? Oh, so we're talking about the bears versus the bulls. It's all of us versus the market makers. So when you're, the diamond handers come into play and you hear that, you get shamed for selling if you're an investor in some of these coins that they really get. You haven't seen it yet in the market, but it'll come. And they'll shame you when you try to sell. Oh, I can't believe you sell that. And you get that whole mentality, and you're thinking, you're selling on people's grandmas. So every time you sell, somebody's got to take the brunt of it. You're screwing somebody over. And I'm saying, bull crap. And I know the sentiment is that we're trading against people, but, you know, things are changing, man. This thing is highly automated now, and I got bot experience that a bot I paid good money for that I probably need to crank back up, but he's a programmable bot, and not the little grid bots and little things that you see out there. It's like, you know, a professional bot, grade bot. And they do some of these strategies. This is where some of the strategies that I use come from, with some of these bot strategies that I had. With some of these indicators, because that's all it used was indicators. So I've got some cool indicator strategies from just that experience. But yeah, you don't ever feel bad about taking profit. It's the market maker you're selling on to. You're not selling on somebody that's just put their last $500 in the crypto, and gosh darn it, if you take profit, you're just going to screw them over. Screw that mentality. That makes you go broke. You're trading against people that are out there, or your market makers are software. You got computer software. It's people behind this with money, with this software out there. That's, man, the stuff that the market maker software can do, I couldn't afford that. Every time I'd put an order in, it always went up me. Every time I put an order in, it always went up me, and that would piss me off back in the day. Nowadays, you don't even see it, but it was like, you know, you get on a low liquidity coin, and you're just trying to put an order in, then maybe you'll come down and hit it. And that little, you got a little market maker is always going to one up you. And one day, I made my 10 Bitcoin trading an altcoin where I just played the market maker. I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. I could one up him up so high, and I could sell on him, and I could down him, keep down selling him, and bring price down to where I could buy. And I cleaned up on that little sucker. And then I lost it because I didn't know how to trade properly. As a freak. Caspa, you say? We charted that one before. Flat fingers. I don't even think I made the point I was trying to make. Yeah, we're trading the market makers, man. They're out there. They're trying to get your money. They're playing games, trying to wash you out. So the best thing is to try to get a plan that kind of goes out of their shorter term scope. And when they're trying to go within a range, you need to have your plan where, like, you know, if they doubled that range and price dropped double that amount, you still have something to get you out of the pickle. That's how I look at it anyway. So I try to have a plan, a backup plan, and a backup plan to that in case all goes to hell. And I'm finding now that my backup plans, they're not fun. I don't like it. And I need to find something better than a backup plan. I'm good. I can get myself out of a pickle, but it's no fun. And I'm missing all this opportunity when I try to do that. So that's my experiment. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about anymore. Pancake heads, that's string out. Celinda says, dump it to 50K. I got dry powder. Oh, that's my guy. Oh, I like that. You got dry powder. This is the hardest mindset that I've found to flip over. Getting where you're taking that profit and getting that dry powder for a potential drop. And once you find yourself on that side of the equation, instead of being always riding the roller coaster down, or just not taking enough profit, you know, you're stuck, or getting liquidated in a bad trade. You got all these bad things. Money falls down, just taking the money away from you. You're seeing your portfolio go down, and you're just blood in the streets. But once you're on the other side of it with that dry powder, man, it's a whole different game. It's a whole different game when you're on that mindset. And then once you're there, and we come back, and you put your strategy into place with that dry powder, yeah, you're going to see the multiples, and then welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. It's a hard club to get into. It's a dang hard club to get into. It's a hard club to keep your membership in. But once you know the secret how to get through that door, and you start doing that, and you hang around that club longer, you're going to get there. So shout out to Celinda for having dry powder on the drop. Fish Crew said he already sold 90%. Have one meme that I'll hold until Bitcoin loses 64, because I can see market makers making a little run up to liquidate shorts, but mostly out. I'm not going to say that that's a bad thing. I mean, in retrospect, I'm seeing where I should have paid more attention to the signs I saw on altcoins. When I was on Total 3, showing you this 3618 little toppy top, and then I was sitting here and said, don't forget to take profit. And I did better. I did better than I normally do. But I should have pressed more. Could have done a lot better. But I mean, that's it. The trading exposes your weaknesses in yourself, your psychology, how you look at the market, and even your own trading system, your own management systems and things. This is this is how it really happens. It's not like, oh, take my course and you'll magically know the right things to do every time, because it doesn't work that way. What works is going through the experience, getting the knowledge to do it, and then actually doing it. That's the hardest part, is trying to actually make a plan and then stick with that plan, and try not to let that little voice tell you that, oh, I know it's a reversal point, but we can probably plow through it. Let's just give it a little time. Let's just wait. You know, those emotions can talk to you as they sound like logic. That's what I keep saying on this channel. It's what I've learned. Your emotions my emotions sound pretty damn logical sometimes, and I'm like, oh, you're right. Yes, I don't want to lose any more. That would be cutting into any profit that I have. I should sell at this bottom, because if it goes any lower, and yeah, listen to that voice and then watch it turn right around at that bottom. And so thankfully those days are few and far between anymore. That's one of the first head hurdles you gotta get past too, before you get to the dry powder stage. Every single indicator for a recession, possible depression, is here in a big way. Be careful, don't add to your losses. The Wall Street guys are looking at some, you know, I've looked at S&P and it looks awesome. Looks like it's busting up the top, but I pay attention to some other, you know, legacy people and some of the things that they look at too, and it's not looking pretty out there. We're in a pretty messed up thing, and our situation with the dollar is not helping at all. A lot of global influences and there's some things to be really mindful at right now. So I mean, I would say err on caution with your strategy or your plan. Be cautious, and because we could take a big serious hit, and if you don't have something in store to plan for it, it can wipe you out, and I don't want to see anybody get wiped out. I've seen this first drop to 58,000 take away one of our people from the channel. They just got caught on the wrong side of it and they decided to leave crypto. It was sad, and I don't want to see that happen to people. Striker says, not getting my lunch money. Sleek Cole says, does the number 113 mean anything to you? If you're asking me, yeah, it's a Fibonacci. It's Saturday night. That's what I had to figure out, Striker. It's like, what day is it? First Guru says, first time volunteering at the nursing home. Fish Guru says, EMAs are lagging, so I have to assume the trend will hold until it doesn't. Yeah. So see, he's got his set of rules to play with these EMAs, and I got my set of rules to play with my 5 moving average strategy. You know, it's just best if you try to go by your rules as best as you can. I think the best traders have a good set of rules and they follow them very consistently. I wouldn't say that I'm quite there. I still fly by the cuff a little. I still got some degen in me that I'm trying to iron out. So, well, I got enough to where I'm profitable, I'm not losing, and I don't have to go work for the man anymore. So the whole thing for me is just to keep refining. Think of this trading and investing, this whole crypto as a craft, man. You're just trying to refine it and get better and better. Just getting better and better, learning and putting it together. And you get that. I find it a lot by sharing and looking at other people. So this stream and just doing what I do here makes me have to be on a tighter game. And I'm kind of thankful for that. That made doing this channel and then doing the educational videos and things like that actually made me better myself. You know, if you're teaching, you know, you might know enough to teach something, but as you teach something, you're learning a lot more in that process too. There's something to be said about that. That's why I encourage Chris over and anybody else over my Telegram group, man, post some charts, do it, take that step, because as you do that, it puts you, you know, there's going to be part of you says, well, I got to make sure I do this right so I don't look like an idiot. And then, you know, you got that part, well, I've got to step out there, be brave enough to do it. I recommend that. But that part that makes you take the extra effort to make sure you cross your I's and, you know, dot your I's and cross your T's, that's where you're going to learn. It helped a lot for me. It helped me learn a lot about fibs. It got me on my fib journey, because before, when I was looking at the fibs, I mean, this was it. Your standard fib pull. Well, I got price. You can't even do it. Yeah, I got price, and you're going to look. Oh, it's going to either come here, or it's going to come here, or it's going to come here, it's going to come here, it's going to come here, it's going to come here. Don't know which one. We just gotta watch and see where it's going to come, and then what? I got a whole new thing. I mean, that's your basics. You got that, and that's what you'll see. Somebody will pull a fib. Well, just wait till it comes down to the 618. That's one idea. It can. It's a normal place for it to come down and bounce off of, for sure. That's the given. That's just, not to use a term of a magnet, but the 618 kind of is. It's like boobies, man. Our eyes just go to boobies. 618s are the boobies of the Fibonacci scale. This would be the chest area. This would be the bosom area. That all men know this. We can't help it. It's just a natural reflection. If they're there, we see them. I don't know. I do. I can't help it. It doesn't make me a bad person. I don't stare at them. I just, they're just, there's something about even the curve is, I'm not getting into that. I'm told I was breastfed as a baby. Maybe that's it. I'm not trying to be disgusting. It's just, that's just where, why are you doing? You just drew circles there. Oh God. I'm sorry. I apologize. Is there any women watching? I apologize. Not trying to be that guy. But what I've learned from all the, I mean, I did a Fibonacci video, and this was basically it. And you know, you get a stronger bump up from here, and 618 is good, and then you get a retracement here, a weaker bump up. But even since doing all of that, I've learned so much about fibs, and you know, you guys see some of the stuff that I do, and I don't talk about it as much anymore because I don't want to bore everybody. So they're talking about it tonight, but I feel like I repeat the same thing over and over, and it just makes my coin analysis in the last 30 minutes a coin or something. If I do that for everything, I think I've said it out there enough for anybody who's been watching the channel. They got a good idea, and I'll just wait for people to ask questions from now on. But with the fibs, now that you got a little idea of where retraces to, once you get those levels, and then you got a good idea to actually measure out a possible place to where it can go to for a reversal, a pivot point, if you will. And there's a couple of different ways to do that are highly accurate. They don't work every time, but when they do work, by gosh darn it, don't they work great? And sometimes when they don't work, well, sometimes it's operator error and not so much the tool or the system. It's kind of like pattern trader being operator error when you see, you know, price comes down and look, it's making a head and shoulder pattern to the downside. That's a misplaced pattern. That pattern it's not for this. This is a top reversal pattern. It's in the wrong spot. It's probably not going to give you the results that you're looking for, or if it does, it's just a freak and you can't depend on it. It's not there. And the one that did that, it went up like this. And I find a lot of times they do, and I haven't figured out, is that just a clever market maker just deciding to have some fun with us? Because this rumor, they can print patterns, and especially low liquidity coins, they can print patterns. And so when I see stuff like that, I have to wonder, is that a market maker printing a pattern? Guys, it's time for me to get the hell out of here because it's late. Sam Webb says, my charts look like I did them with crayons. My charts get... My charts can get sloppy. They can get messy. So that's pretty natural. SPX RSI on the weekly 72% range and has more gaps in it than Joey B's daily planner. So guys, just be careful. There's some bullish arguments to be paid for Bitcoin, right? Especially for Bitcoin right now. But there's also some bearish, there are some bearish signs going on right now. If I had to guess and speculate, I'm thinking that the bigger players are wanting Bitcoin at a good price, and they got the means within a range and the ability to shake out the market. There's not many coins on the market. There's going to be I've said this for a long time. We're going to come with Bitcoin where there's going to be a lot of volatility, a lot like the early days with big moves, like $10,000 moves, because there's not enough Bitcoin on the exchanges. So there can be some sizable gaps in movement here, kind of like the early days. So that's, you got to have a strategy that can take a lot of the movement, and just think. I mean, we may, what if we go to 77,000? What if we go up? Great, love it. But is what you got going on, even with your altcoins and everything else, can it handle if we come down to 58,000 or 48? 48 is not clearly off the table. 48 is right here, well, right around 50,000. Right around this area should be our 618 for this whole move. We can go there. So you just want to make sure you've got a plan in place, and it's that mentality that's kind of saved my ass so far on this leverage thing, where I have not given up all my profit. I'm still trying to stay around 5,500, and I'm so close to it now. I may just take that loss and just give up let the pride go, trying to keep a good win rate, and just take that little small loss. So are you fighting ego? Yeah, I'm fighting ego. It's subtle. I'm also, oh, yeah, I know exactly what to do, but it's enough ego to get me screwed up on this and make me lose money, whether I want to take a loss here or not. So, you know, it's the kind of thing you have to look at as being a trader. For real. I mean, for real. It's not always, we're making gains. If you were in my group, you would have got 60%. You would have known to jump in at this. You know, how would they have known which chart to jump in out of the 20 charts that you're posted over there? And how would they have gotten the same entry, or even would have had the money to go in on that one, or even want to go in on that coin? Maybe it's a good short-term play, but it's a shitty coin, and that's not spelled out. It should just be a small trade, and they end up holding that coin for months because you didn't specify. Oh, we're only going to sell it at the 4% gain 10 times if we can. There's just so much crap. I don't know. I don't think we get a real look at what real trading looks like, and it's not always pretty. And a lot of people do a lot of stupid, or else everybody would be freaking multi-millionaires, wouldn't they? I think I just threw philosophizing tonight. Thanks for hanging out and listening to me and hanging out. Oh my god, we got more people? I haven't even been going over charts. You guys just like to hear me talk about trading dilemmas. Tighten up, Sean. I know. Guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll be with you tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Sunday? Oh, happy Father's Day, by the way. For all you fathers out there, enjoy the day with your family. Better than being here stuck and glued to a chart, for damn sure. And it's God's Day tomorrow, so I'll be on tomorrow night. Look at the weekly loads and nothing else. Thanks for hanging out. Good night, everybody. I'm doing it for real this time. Going to the end screen. Promise. Going.
Come on, come here, boy. Come on. You freaky dog.
Oh my god, where is it at? Can I find it? Will you do it? You want to do that?
I don't need to analyze every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so
I've got an egg, Easter egg here if I can find it.
if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable.
Where are you?
No one. You was star, blew it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you was really
Oh, here it is.
Basic bullets.
So I apologize for the voice range. This is in the high area. I could probably go through and refine it, but I was just trying to get this out. I'm not a singer, but I thought it was funny.
Crypto bull run.
taking its own sweet time. When is it ever gonna move? Portfolios are dripping red tonight. Fearing down our stormy in our minds. They say that buying red days can make us millionaires. One bullish cross is all we need. Sometimes trading this market ain't always what it claims to be. Well, Bitcoin, I'll harder you. I'll forever DCA into you. I'll forever hodl you, Bitcoin.
Come on, come here, bud. Come on. You freaky dog.
Good night, John boy.
I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like you're so SS.